WIDR Kalamazoo, broadcasting for you.
Welcome, everybody. Okay. Welcome to the new radio show. I don't actually know if it's new, but whatever. I'm here. I'm Rin, and it's nice to see you. And I'm joining with Bella, the host, and now we're gonna start talking about things.
That's great.
Thank you.
All right. Hello, and thank you for tuning into WIDR 89.1 for episode 8 of Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Bella Hamid, and this episode's guest is Rin Callanan.
Hello, I'm Rin. You can find me at Opposition953 on Instagram, as well as oppositionjht.bandcamp.com.
Super cool. So this Bandcamp page you just finished, right?
Yeah, I've just released my final project there, and I'll be putting a link to my new project in the bio section of that when I have something out there.
Nice. So you're a musician, you're in the MAT major. This is your second year?
Yeah, my second year as a MAT major, third year here.
Have you declared your minor yet?
I have. I'm minoring in gender and women's studies.
Nice. I always like to ask what MAT people minor in because it's always very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite so far has been communications.
Ah.
I was like, that's so strange.
It's a choice, that's for sure.
It's definitely a choice that you have made.
Mm-hmm.
So you're also a musician. Can I ask you, like, initially what attracted you to, like, the MAT program and maybe even musicianship in general?
Oh, yeah. So I'd been taking piano lessons since I was like 4 because my parents made me, and that's fine, because I was digging it, and I got encouraged to make my own music once I admittedly got really into the band Coldplay because they make good music, and from there I kind of started listening to related artists and then them and then them and then them, and then I thought I want to make music like this. I want to put my thoughts out there into music, and thereby I picked up GarageBand on my phone and I started uploading music.
Super cool. So you're a pianist?
Yep.
Currently, is there anything else you play?
Well, in band class in like middle and high school, I did percussion, and then in marching band, I did marimba.
So you're on the in the front?
Yep.
Nice. I was like, did you march with the marimba?
No,
I've never seen anyone march with the marimba before.
Yeah, that would be insane. Like I've seen some of the advanced like drumline shows where they're like roll them around, and it's insane. But no, I don't think you can march with that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I've seen people march like a glockenspiel.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that in like I think I saw it in like the Rose Bowl parade.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Pretty cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me, so do you make your own music or do you just like recording other people?
Oh yeah, I make my own music.
Sure.
Totally my own. Sometimes I record my own vocals, but mostly it's instrumental.
Mm-hmm. What is your writing process like?
Well, a lot of it is kind of spur of the moment. Like I'll open up a new session and just like, find some synth textures I like, find some drums. Maybe I'll like, hear something and I'll like record a sample to like put in the music, maybe as like an atmospheric thing or work it into the beat somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of see what comes, and then as everything comes together, I'll have a full project, and then boom, I put it out.
For sure. Like ideally, what would you want to see your music in, you think?
Well, part of my big thought is like I like listening to music by albums, and so what I want to do is make some like really big album project, just like make a really cool experimental project. But also what could work is like a soundtrack, maybe for a video game, maybe for a movie. That would be pretty cool stuff, and I think it could work well for it. I usually make like ambient, electronic, instrumental, that kind of jam. So
Yeah, for sure. Have you done the synthesis and effects project yet?
Yeah. I did that last semester.
Was that your jam?
Yeah, that class is basically why I'm here. So
For
it was a lot
sure.
of fun.
That's great. What kind of equipment do you use?
Well, at this point, I'm kind of short on equipment, so I've been using GarageBand
Mm-hmm.
on my phone. Though I did download Reaper on my computer, so I'm gonna see how I can learn that. I want to see if I can get like a fancy little microphone too. I have a bass guitar, though I haven't been able to use that yet because I don't have an amp, but that's fine. Um, I've got my keyboard at home, so.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Is it like a full keyboard or just
Oh yeah, it's like a Casio type deal.
nice? Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think now would probably be a good time to listen to some of your stuff.
Sweet.
So why don't you introduce the song you want us to listen to?
All right. So to start, the most recent album I released, and I believe at this point the final Opposition album, is one called Derealization. And from it, I want to highlight the song Blank White Walls.
I just find it interesting when I find people that are like instrumentalists because I'm like a vocalist. I'm very word centric in my music writing. And so like I couldn't do something like this ever. Cuz like everything I write has to be based around words. That was great. Is there anything you want to share about that piece?
Thanks. So, one thing I'll note is that the album is meant to flow as a whole piece, but so hence it's starting and ending. Like it's leading into something. Um, this particular track was a big core of the album in that it focuses on that feeling of just like when you're laying in your room, just like laying on your side, and the whole world around you just kind of disappears. Like I'm in my apartment, it's all just blank white walls around me. Though I did just put up a trans flag, And
Nice.
but like so one of my main influences on this particular piece is the ambient artist Biosphere, whose
Mm-hmm.
stuff is usually very, sparse, um, lots of like chilly textures kind of deal. And what I like, because sometimes I have the tendency to just like stack up too many layers in my music. So this was basically an exercise in cutting all that out and putting in just as much as necessary to convey the feeling and nothing more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely felt that through that piece. I liked the piano. I liked the ambient sounds and stuff. That was really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who like inspires you through your like creative process, I'd say. Or maybe just in life.
hmm Just like a specific person I know.
Anything. It could be as many people as you want.
All right. Well, there are hmm. Well, I've met like a few people in my time. I'll say one of them was my marching band instructor, Oliver, who's helped me just like, get focus on like more discipline, getting down stuff, but also like, you know, not worrying too much about like, getting stuff done right now, but just taking the time and practicing it and working on it. And in terms of just like artistry, like one of my big influences is Phil Elverum of the microphones in Mount Erie, because a lot of his stuff is really like, there's lo-fi stuff, especially with microphones, and a lot of real vulnerability
Mm.
that I want to try to convey as best I can through my music.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of derealization is really about like my depression,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to like channel that into music to like get those feelings out in a way I can't use with words.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone you'd love to work with?
Oh, well, there are several people I would love to work with. One would be Devin Smith, who is Coin Locker Kid and Say La Key. He's got a couple projects on Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this like really weird experimental style, whether it's like, radio drama kind of approach on Say La Key, or like this abstract experimental hip hop kind of style with Coin Locker Kid. It's a really cool thing that really got to like shake up my how I see music.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to like, make an instrumental or something for that. Also, Noah Lennox, aka Panda Bear from Animal Collective, just because I really love his voice and I would like love to like try to work that into like one of my instrumentals. That would be really cool. So
Mm-hmm. Super cool. I think I'm ready for piece number 2.
sweet.
Okay. So, what song are we listening to next?
Alrighty. I I want to highlight another piece.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I want to highlight another piece from hmm. I want to highlight a piece from the previous album, Anhedonia, which is the closing track, I Wake Up to a Beautiful Sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That was good. Yeah, I like that. Felt like there was a good flow throughout the piece. Is there anything you want to talk about with that one?
All right. Well, um, first of all, I found that I really like the sound of a mellotron.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that at the end, and because like this album was my first one about depression, and it's probably the only album about depression to heavily feature mellotron, but whatever. Um, one of the big important parts is this is the final song in the album, and I
Mm-hmm.
kind of wanted it to feel like I didn't want to end the album on such a depressing note,
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to not like, go everything's fine now because that's not how it works, but rather just have like a little cloud parting moment, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Not that everything's fine, but things are, the next day starts and things keep moving, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be, you know, you can survive through it. Um so I want to get like, big drums. I want to get the big splashy snare in there. Big like horns. They're very clearly like MIDI horns, but um, kind of like the sound of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have this, you know.
For sure. For our listeners out there, she just made very nice hand gestures, kind of like a splashing wave.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Is there anything you're working to improve on in
Hmm.
your music, maybe through like discipline or the creative process or anything?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So usually I don't tend to look back over a piece before I put it out. It's a lot of like first takes, a lot of you know, initial structure, train of thought through it, and then it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And with my upcoming project, I'm looking to make it more of like a labor of love, I suppose, in that I'm, not just like cranking out like a bazillion albums a year, but instead like working really hard on one particular like full vision and like making sure that each individual track fits it, and that if there's something I'm like, I'm not sure about that, then I go back in there and I get it to how I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also working on like, I guess like get like taking away that like garage bandy sheen of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that'll be something tricky to work with, but I want it to be like, sounds you haven't heard as much before. So
Mm-hmm.
like, getting more creative with my production and hopefully getting a better DAW. But if I can't do that, then at least throwing on some more production, maybe like re-recording stuff for like a little bit of grit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that to really, get it something special.
You've done your no effects projects, right?
Not yet. That's I'm gonna be getting in there this semester.
Yeah, I've heard that that will really help with that type of stuff
Hmm.
because you can't like put any effects on anything.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It'll get, better miking techniques, better all
Mm-hmm.
that business. And
For
I'm
sure.
excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely feel like when you're limited to like a garage band, you can feel limited as a musician.
Hmm.
But sometimes out of that like limitedness, I guess, can come like really interesting stuff.
True.
Um like just wacky things we do when we have no money but want to make music.
Hmm.
Um could you pinpoint a reason to why you do what you do?
Like why I do music or like specifics.
Anything you want, I guess. Like I feel like we talked a little bit about like your motivations for music.
Hmm.
So maybe talk about maybe like just like other motivations in life that maybe we can see through your music.
All right. Well, hmm. A lot of my thought is like, for me, um, listening to music, it's all about how it makes you feel, Just like what kind of vibes it sparks in your heart, I
Mhm.
guess. But in a really flowery way, I suppose. And like for me, life is all about like, the experiences you have, the feelings that you can't put into words. So like, um like I don't like I don't want to put too much pressure on myself because I sometimes can on like, doing everything right and, passing every class with perfect grades. Not like I don't want to be passing classes because I will be passing classes, I promise. But like, like taking time to enjoy life and finding the things that get you through to tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Really great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, so like what are your plans for like the future after college?
So I haven't been thinking about that too much,
Yeah, that's fine.
admittedly, because
That's scary.
I am very scared of the
For sure,
future.
yeah.
But I do want to keep making music and hopefully
Mm-hmm.
get better production equipment. Um, Perhaps work in a recording studio. If anything, just like I mean, like I can do janitor stuff. That's cool with me, or like assistant engineer,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. Working on that, not trying to like ooh, I got to do whatever to make money because I don't care about money besides how like it gets me to buy food. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just like, I want to do what makes me happy and
Yeah.
so I'll like, um I'll figure it out is my general thought. So,
Mm-hmm. So you're definitely into more like production than say live mixing.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely about like, the labor of love. The
Mm-hmm.
like I sometimes like use the analogy comparing like the mix of your music to like a soup. And
Mm.
like I'll spend, however long cooking my brew to like, or I should add this thing to really, add some flavor to it. I should, you got to control the amounts of how much different stuff is in there. And I'm really about like that kind of craft of like
Mm-hmm.
getting the perfect soup.
For sure. Yeah. I feel like we should listen to another song.
Sweet.
Is there one you have in mind?
Hmm. Well, I feel like one that um I feel like one that I'm particularly proud of is is it okay if I do like a longer one?
Yeah, take your time.
Sweet. Okay. So the
Is
one
it the
try
9-minute one?
no.
Okay.
Um the I'm not a stranger to longer songs. I was thinking the penultimate track on Derealization, which is 7 minutes long and whose name is escaping me right now.
A
Um
long night.
with little rest. That's it. Thank you. Advertisement. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask with instrumental music, do you ever feel like you have same song syndrome?
Yes,
Yeah,
totally.
for sure. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. Because sometimes I'll just be like mixing things or making stuff, and I'm like, this sounds exactly like something I made, I don't know, last week.
Yeah, I do have that. Like I usually endeavor by that regard to, change up my timbres as much as possible. Like, don't use two the same synth setting between two songs if I can help it. And one of my big problems is a structural one where I'll usually have songs just like, build, 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 done. Build up to the big boom moment and then
It's
we're
over.
done.
Yeah.
Yep. And like I want to, change away from that because like it works. It works, but I want to like, surprise people sometimes.
Have you ever thought about doing a structure kind of like a where you would do a lyrical structure?
Well, I've thought about that. I'm a bit self-conscious of my own voice, especially when it comes to singing. But I have tried writing music with lyrics before. You can find it on my Bandcamp if you really want to. Um, but like I've worked with like the lyrical structure, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, that kind of deal, and I can work with that. That stuff can be pretty cool. So
I was thinking kind of like that, but like without words, where
true.
you'd like use your instruments in that repetitive kind of motion.
Oh, I could totally use that. I mean, yeah, to like have a the more subdued section, and then boom, everything washes over you, and the sound space gets so much bigger, and it's like whoa, and then you go
Look
back
at this
down.
dynamic range.
You go back down, and it's like okay, we're building up to something. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I want that kind of light parting through the clouds.
Like that last chorus on a song is always so good. I feel like your music is great, but I just gotta say this as a little rock rat who likes punk music. I feel like an instrumental breakdown in your songs would be so cool. Not that like you have to. It's your art, obviously, and I love that you're making such cool things. It makes me feel like I'm in outer space, and I love feeling like I'm in outer space. But if you are looking for like different structural ideas, I like to like personally, sorry, not to talk over you.
No, go ahead.
Like when I'm personally stuck, I like to like pull a structure from a different genre and put it into my genre.
I think that sounds great. I mean, I love like combining different genres. Like I listen to like loads of different stuff. I'm not loyal to any particular genre because like what's even the point of that? Just like
for sure.
I'm gonna try whatever stuff. So like I'll pull in like this element there, this element there. Like I listen to Autechre, I listen to the Microphones, I listen to Coldplay, and I listen to Shoo Shoo, all kinds of different stuff. And you just pull all that together. I mean, my main influence on this song being Tim Hecker, specifically the album Harmony and Ultraviolet, because I'm all about that, noise and ambient. But like, I'd love to like, take stuff from like, that genre and then work it into my style, and then oh sweet, I've come up with something original and hopefully clever. I don't know.
For sure, yeah. Oh, that's super cool. Have you ever found yourself doing something in school specifically? 'Cause I feel like school would be the place where you're like, suddenly I'm making a rap song.
Yeah, I've tried that. I mean, I don't really have the nerve to rap, but I could try it. I know like in my my effects processing and synthesis class, I've tried more like I think it was more like quartet influenced, like a bit more hip hoppy. I used a lot of like samples on there. One of them I sampled a church choir on, which was fun.
It's super cool.
Yeah, not a live church choir, unfortunately. I found it online, but it was a church choir. So
Do you know like those sensory deprivation water tubs? Yeah. Yeah. That's what I feel like would be playing right now, as I'm in my little cocoon of water bubble.
That was a lot of what went into this one. We're just like this really is on the moment. Is the moment on the album. We're just like in the room, and everything else around me is just haze and fog and swirling clouds and stuff, and it does feel that kind of like it both feels like bliss and like blah, so, and this angles more into the bliss aspect of it.
Nice.
Thank
No,
you.
Verbo. No more ads from our beautiful listening session. I don't need you.
Such a tone killer.
I know. You like put me in this like hypnotic state with your
Mhm.
music, and then bam, ad. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But no, I'm super excited. Do you
Thank
foresee
you.
yourself doing any type of like live performance in the future or not?
Well, I'd have to get the right equipment for that, but I'd totally love to do that. I mean, like, um, it'd be an interesting live experience, that's for
Mm-hmm.
sure. But I want to like, really do something cool up there. Maybe some live synthesis.
Mm.
I mean, I've been learning Max, which is very tricky and weird, but also fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe if I could get my hands on like an analog synthesizer with all the plugs and the
Oh
chords and
yeah.
that sounds like a lot of fun. I could be up
Mm-hmm.
there twiddling knobs and just like I'm floating points or something.
Mm-hmm.
I like floating points. That's another influence. And so I'd love to, and maybe I don't know, get my bass up there and get other people to like do something cool up there. Yeah, I'd love to. Maybe with my next project. Stay tuned, folks.
You look like a looper kind of girl.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'd totally be down for, getting a sample and looping it,
for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you like working with other like more analog instruments like saxophones, piano or not pianos,
Mhm.
saxophones, clarinets, drums, horns?
Well, I would love to work with like, woodwinds and brass and kind of deal. I would love to get that in there. I can't play them myself, but I would love to get that there in the mix somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Either like, ooh, I could put like, I don't know, get somebody to play saxophone, layer up a chord, and then put reverb on it, and oh, that would be really cool in the background. Or get it in the front and center. Yeah, I'd totally be down to work with it. I just need to find somebody to play them, and then there we
Yeah, for
go.
sure. Yeah, something I like about the School of Music is that you can just walk down the hall and go, "Hey, you play the saxophone? What if you played the saxophone for me?"
True.
But yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Well, honestly, it's been great having you here today.
Thank you.
Um, I really enjoyed everything you had to say. It's nice we finally have a girl on the podcast.
Ah.
Um, we had Sophia last week, but she uses she they pronouns,
Mhm.
so I don't know if she identifies as a girl or as non-binary,
Right.
but it's so great. I'm glad we're spicing things up, and I really
Yeah.
loved your music. It was super different,
Thank you.
and I hope that you can find your dream band and walk up, be Glenn Miller. So
Hopefully without the ending of that story.
the ending of that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah,
so
thank you.
Support student media. Donate to 89.1 WIDR FM using the Support WIDR tab in the top right-hand corner on widrfm.org. Thanks for widening our opportunities.